everyone. As you guys are getting ready, all you'll need is a mat if you have one. If you don't have one, you can use a towel, or just make sure that you're on a soft, comfortable surface to move around on. And then you're wearing comfortable clothes. I'll be barefoot, but if you want to wear socks, just be careful with what you're standing on. And if you want to wear shoes, you can wear those as well. This is going to be a 45-minute yoga / Pilates sort of class. I'm going to set it up as like a yoga flow with more of a core focus. So again, make your way. We're going to be in a kneeling sort of position on the back of our mat here. So I'll scoot forward so you can see me. So kneeling at the back of our mat, sitting up nice and tall. Go ahead, roll those shoulders down and away from your ears, really elongating that spine, keeping that gaze forward. So we really want that neck to be in line with that spine. We're gonna start to bring our attention to our breath here. So nice deep inhales, opening up that chest, keeping those shoulders down and away from the ears. Exhaling out nice and strong. Inhale, start to engage that core. Exhaling out nice and slow. Go ahead, take a few more breaths at your own pace. Really opening up. Nice deep breaths here. Throughout this class, we really want to focus on pairing our breath with all of the movement. So starting to feel that breath right away at the beginning of class today. So we're keeping that focus throughout the rest of this 45 minutes. One more inhale and exhale here. Really opening up, sitting up tall. Exhale out slow. This time inhale, reach your arms up overhead, gaze up. And then exhale, drop one hand down towards the ground. Reach the other arm up and over, opening up the side body. Inhale, both arms back up overhead. And then exhale, same thing to the other side. We're gonna repeat that a few more times, feeling our breath. So inhale to reach. Exhale, lower down, stretch to one side. Make sure both of your glutes are staying on your heels. So if your glutes start to lift up, then that might mean you're stretching a little bit too far. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower down. If you can keep your glutes on your heels, then you can bend that elbow a little bit closer to the ground here to get a deeper stretch. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. We'll do one more to each side. So we're really opening up, warming up the side body and the spine here. Last one to that left side, or whichever side you finished on. And then meet me, inhale, reach your arms up overhead. We're gonna exhale, fold forward, reach to the front of our mat into a child's pose. And you can let your forehead rest onto the mat. So opening up those shoulders, stretching out the spine and the tailbone. Nice child's pose, breathing here. Nice inhale and exhale. And then on this inhale, we're gonna lift on up into tabletop position, drop your belly button down, gaze comes up into a cow position, and then exhale, press back into that child's pose. Putting those together, so inhale, drop the belly button into cow. Exhale, curve the spine, lower down into that child's pose. A few more of these. Feeling your breath, inhale, lift up. Exhale, one more time. Inhale up. And then exhale back into down dog. This time, if you want to take puppy pose instead of down dog, so moving your arms a little bit more forward, and you can let your forehead rest on the mat or your chin, but your glutes are going to be stacked right over your knees, and this is a really great shoulder opener and a chest opener. But again, if you want to hold that child's pose, you can. From here, we're going to shift our weight forward. Keep your forearms onto that mat into a Sphinx pose. So again, really warming up that spine here. Super important that we're stretching out the spine before we do a lot of core work. Go ahead, lower on down. Bring your arms right, or your hands right by your shoulders. We're gonna tuck the toes under and then press up. Shoot those hips back into our first down dog here. Since it's our first down dog, go ahead, add some movement, whatever is comfortable for you. If you wanna pedal out your heels one at a time, you can. Again, really doing whatever works best for you here. I always like to press my chest towards the mat. If you want to sway your hips side to side a little bit, you can. From here, we're going to roll forward into a plank position. Find that strong form. Shoulders stacked right over those wrists. Nice flat back. Gazing down. Keep those elbows close to your side. We're going to lower down nice and slow all the way down. And then inhale, lift up into up dog or cobra. So whatever works best for you. You don't have to lift your legs off the mat if you don't want to. And then curl those toes under. Exhale, shoot those hips back behind you, back into that down dog. And again, go ahead, make this an active stretch, doing whatever is comfortable for you to stretch out here. And then when you're ready, we're gonna reach our right arm back to our left ankle. So bringing opposite arm to opposite leg. If you can't reach your ankle, you can grab onto your knee or your thigh. But go ahead, nice little twist here. See if you can gaze over that opposite arm. Plant that hand back on the mat. Same thing on the other side. So left hand reaches to the outside of the right ankle, gazing behind that right arm. Awesome. Bring both hands back to center. We're gonna lift our right leg up to the sky here, and then start to draw that knee up towards your right elbow. Try to tap that knee to your right tricep, and then exhale, send it back to that down dog. Once again, draw that knee up, try to tap that elbow or tricep, and send it back. One more time, slowly draw that knee up, tap that elbow, and then exhale, send it back behind you. Same thing on the other side, so lift that left leg up, bring that knee up towards your elbow, squeeze your core tight, exhale, send it back behind you. Two more times here, draw that knee up, holding strong here. Exhale, send it back behind you. Last time here, draw that knee up, tap that elbow or tricep, whatever you can reach, and kick it back. Go ahead, lower that foot down, raise that right leg up one more time. We're gonna draw our knee up towards our chest, squeezing that core, hold here. So nice tight core, seeing how far we can lift that knee. Point your toes so that we're activating our legs here. And then when you're ready, step that foot down. The back foot's gonna curve out to 90 degrees, and then go ahead, open up into a warrior two. So reaching both arms to opposite sides of the room, sinking nice and low in that front leg, making sure that knee is stacked over that ankle. Shoulders are relaxed. Our gaze is over those front fingertips. So if you're on your right side, over those right fingertips. And then really think about activating those legs. So squeeze those heels together. send energy between your heels through that space in your mat. Nice long line here. Nice deep breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to drop that back arm, reach the front arm up and over. Nice side stretch. Come back to center. And then we're going to cartwheel our hands down. Try to reach that right arm all the way down to the mat. So making a straight line with your fingertips. So stacking your left hand over your right shoulder and your right fingertips. Nice little stretch here. And then when you're ready, we're going to plant that right hand onto the mat. Step the right foot back into a side plank here. So option right away, if you want to come kickstand one knee or come down to your forearm, you can. Extra challenges to keep that left arm lifted up overhead. And if you want even more of a balance challenge, you can try to look at that hand. I always get pretty shaky when I try to do that. We're going to hold this for a few more seconds, so find your strength. Keeping those hips lifted, so don't let your hips droop down. Really squeeze your core tight to keep that straight line. Last 5 seconds. And 3, 2. Go ahead, kickstand that bottom leg if you haven't already. And then we're going to press up into kind of a lateral lunge position from our knees. Left arm reaches down towards that left leg. Reach the right arm up and over. And then reach that arm back so it's planted onto the mat. Reach the left arm up this time. Nice side stretch here. And then go ahead, quick side plank one more time. Step that foot back just for a second. We're going to make our way into a center plank. Draw that right knee up towards your chest. And then challenge here, we're going to send it back and try to do a vinyasa with that leg lifted. So with that right leg up, lower down, and up, downward cobra. And then exhale, shoot those hips back behind you. Again, you can press your chest down to get a nice stretch in those arms, whatever is comfortable for you here. All right, so once again, go ahead and lift that left leg up this time. Draw that knee up, try to tap those triceps, send it back. One more time, draw that knee up, and exhale it back to that three-legged dog. Last time on this side, draw that knee up, and back to that down dog. You can drop that left leg, raise the right leg this time, draw that knee up, try to tap those elbows or triceps. Exhale, send it back. Last 2, draw that knee up, and go ahead, send it back. Just one more here, hold strong. Draw that knee up, squeeze that core, point that toe. Exhale, go ahead, lower the right leg. Left leg kicks back up. One more time. Squeeze that knee into your chest. Squeezing everything here, pointing that toe. Engage your core tight. And then go ahead, step that foot down. Right foot curves out to 90 degrees this time. And then we're gonna cartwheel our hands into warrior 2. I'm gonna switch sides so you can see me. So again, back foot is at about 90 degrees. Our hips are open, arms reaching to opposite sides of the room and gazing over those front fingertips. Thinking nice and low here and really pressing that weight into both heels so that we're engaging our legs. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, left arm reaches down, or right arm reaches down. Left arm reaches up and over. Still sinking low here. Meet me back in center. And then again, go ahead, drop that left arm all the way down. Make that nice straight line from your fingertips through your shoulders up to your other fingertips. Nice side body stretch. And then when you're ready, plant that left hand down, step back into that side plank on the other side. Again, remember those options if you want to come down to your knee, or if you want to come down to your elbows, forearms, doing whatever works best for you. You might notice that one side balances a little bit better, and that's totally okay. But again, if you want that extra challenge, reach that top arm up and gaze up towards it if you can. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, kickstand that bottom leg down, and then lift on up into that kind of lateral lunge sort of position. Lower that right arm down, reach the left arm up, come back to center, and then go ahead, plant that left arm down, reach the right arm up overhead. Get ready to shift your weight into that hand. We're gonna step back really quick into that side plank one more time, and then meet me back in center. Go ahead, bring that left leg in, send it back, and then again, extra challenge vinyasa with that leg lifted, lower down, into up dog or cobra. Curl those toes under, exhale, shoot those hips back to down dog, and then go ahead, lower those knees down to the mat, shift back into child's pose here. I'm gonna turn around once again, but go ahead, stretch out those shoulders. Nice deep stretch here. And then from here, we're gonna lift on up into a tabletop position, and then just lower your chest down to the mat here. So gazing down, everything is flat on the mat. Nice deep breath in, and then exhale, lift your arms and your legs up off the mat. So into kind of a Superman position to warm up that spine, squeezing those glutes and those hamstrings to really lift the quads up off the mat. If you want more of a challenge, you can reach your arms out in front. Last 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower it down. This time, a little bit more of a challenge. We're gonna bend our legs and then try to grab your ankles or the tops of your feet with your hands behind you. And then from here, we're gonna do that same thing to try to lift on up. We're gonna do this by kicking into those hands. So really kick into those hands to lift your chest off the mat, and then really try to peel those legs off the mat here. So simultaneously kicking into those hands and trying to lift on up. Nice deep breaths here. Try not to hold your breath. We're here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower it on down. You can relax everything down for a second. Nice deep breaths. And then we're gonna go ahead and do that one more time. So when you're ready, kick those feet back. Grab those ankles or tops of your feet with your hands. Kick into them. Try to lift on up as high as you can here. This is called our bow pose if you haven't done it before. It's really good to work your lower back when you're working your core, so that we're working those opposite muscles here. Last 4, 3, 2, slowly lower everything down towards the mat, and then go ahead, press back into a quick child's pose, curving that spine to stretch it in the opposite direction. Awesome. And then whenever you're ready, go ahead and meet me in a tabletop position. So we're gonna stack our shoulders right over our wrists, and our hips are stacked right over our knees. Our spine is nice and flat here. And then from here, we're gonna curl our toes under, press into them just so that we're hovering our knees over the mat. So from here, it might get a little bit tricky, so I'll try to explain this, but we're gonna turn onto our right side, lift your left hand, kick the right leg through, and then lower down as if you're trying to sit. So trying to tap those glutes down to the mat, come back to center. Same thing on the other side. So turning around, lift that right hand, kick the left foot through, try to sit on down, tap that glute to the mat, glutes here. So you're really going to challenge yourself the more you engage those legs. So think about flexing that foot or pointing the toe and really sinking down here. We'll do a few more on each side. So make sure you're challenging yourself with this move here. Sinking down low, maybe holding it for a second. Last one on each side here. Awesome job, you guys. Hold strong. And go ahead, lower those knees down. Back to that child's pose. Nice deep breaths. Awesome job. From here, we're gonna shift forward, lowering down one more time, back to that bow pose for the last time. Now that we've all gotten the hang of it, kick those legs back, reach back for those ankles, and then go ahead, kick into those hands, really try to lift on up, squeezing those glutes, those hamstrings, those quads, really lifting up as high as we can here, keeping that gaze a few inches in front of us, so not lifting our neck up too much. Last 4, 3, 2, and slowly lower everything down. Press back into child's pose. Stretch out that spine. Nice deep breaths. And then go ahead, shift back into that tabletop position. One more time. Curl those toes under, lift on up. This time we're going to do something a little bit different. So this time we're just going to tap one knee down to the mat at a time, squeezing that core tight, trying to keep that back as flat as possible. So twisting side to side. You're going to feel those quads heat up a little bit here. Awesome job, you guys. Holding strong. Last 2 to each side. Last one here. Hold strong. Pressing those hands into that mat. And then go ahead, exhale, shoot those hips back behind you. Back into down dog. Go ahead, pedal out those heels. And then from here you can either step or hop your feet up into a forward fold here. Slowly roll it on up. If you want to stretch here for a second, you can. But then go ahead and meet me in a standing position. We're going to inhale, reach those arms up. And then exhale, start to sit your glutes back into a chair pose. Reaching those arms up overhead. Keeping that weight in those heels. See if we can sink a little bit lower here. Nice flat back. Holding strong, you guys got it. And we'll hold for 4, 3, 2, and exhale, slowly roll it on up. Let those hands come down to your side. You can shake out those legs just for a second here. And then once again, inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale, sink those hips back behind you, lowering down. And then this time we're going to lower all the way down towards our mat here. And then from here, you can extend your legs out in front. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Nice quick stretch down the backs of those legs. Trying to keep that back as flat as possible. So thinking about folding from our hips instead of from our upper back here. Awesome. Go ahead, slowly lift on up. We're gonna make our way into a reverse tabletop. So plant your feet flat onto the ground. Hands come on the mat behind us, fingertips pointing forward. We're gonna lift those hips up. And then keeping that gaze in front of us. So from here, we're gonna press into our hands and we're gonna straighten our legs, keeping our arms as still as possible, but straighten your legs so that you're sending your glutes back behind you and then coming back into that reverse tabletop. So kind of rocking on our heels, Send those glutes back, and then lift them back up top. Really squeeze your glutes back in that reverse tabletop. So slide those glutes back, and then lift it on up. A few more of these. These are really going to work those triceps, so the little muscles on the backs of those arms. Inhale, back to reverse tabletop. A few more of these. Really pressing into those arms. If you want more of a challenge, you can hold that position with your glutes underneath your shoulders. So hold this position a little bit longer. Come back up, nice and slow and controlled. Let's do 2 more. So roll it back nice and slow. Lift it on up. Pressing those hands into the mat so we don't want our ears or head too close to our shoulders here. So pressing away. Last one here. Lift it on up. And then slowly lower those glutes down to the mat. Go ahead, hug your arms around your knees to give them a nice little stretch. And while you're hugging your knees, if you want to press your knees away from each other to stretch out those arms a little bit more, you can. And then from here, hands come back behind us. We're going to lift those legs up. So find your high boat position, whatever works best for you. So if you can straighten your legs all the way, you can try that. If not, just hold this position. Option to bring your hands or your arms to your sides, or if you want to keep that assist, you can. But holding here, nice and strong. Again, keeping that back as flat as possible. And again, if you want to try to straighten out those legs, you can. From here, we're just going to tap one foot down at a time, nice and slow and controlled. Finding that strength, thinking about drawing a straight line with those toes all the way down to the mat. Lift it back up. 2 more on each side here. And the last one. Awesome. Go ahead, slowly lower both legs down. Feet come together, and you can just windshield wiper your legs side to side. Sometimes doing those boat positions can be a little bit hard on our hips, so stretching it out here. And then we're going to do those reverse tabletops one last time here. I know those are challenging, but we're building our strength. So coming into that reverse tabletop, slowly shift so that your glutes come back between your shoulder or underneath your shoulders, and then glide forward. Squeeze those glutes at the top, lift them as high as you can, and then lower it on back. Again, if you want to hold this sort of L-shaped position longer to work those triceps more, you can. Squeezing those glutes. Remember, take this slow, find that control. Feel your breath through this movement. So we're building our strength by taking these moves nice and slow, finding that control. Awesome job, you guys. Just a few more of these. Squeeze those glutes at the top. Last 2 here. And then we are done with this move, I promise. I know it's challenging. Lift on up. Last one. Make it good. Maybe hold in that L position a little bit longer. Squeezing those triceps. And then slowly lift it on up. Squeeze those glutes at the top. And then nice and carefully lower it on down. Again, you can hug your arms around your legs here. Stretch out those triceps. And then go ahead and meet me in your boat position one more time here. So again, option to plant your hands gently behind you for a little bit of an extra assist, or you can keep them out in front. Finding your balance here, we're going to alternate between our high boat and a low boat position. So coming up, bring those knees closer to our chest, and then extending them out in front. Draw them in, then push them away from you. Bring them in, and then lower it on down. Holding strong here, find that control again. Feel free to rest your hands gently behind you. Awesome job, you guys. Just a few more. Exhale, send them away nice and controlled. Bring them in. And slowly send them away. Draw them in. And out. Let's do 2 more. In. And out. Last one here. Draw them in. Hold this last one out as much as you can. See if you can bring your arms up overhead. And then slowly lower everything down to the mat into a nice full body stretch here. So breathing through, we'll be on our backs here, so if you have to adjust on your mat, you can. We'll reach those arms up overhead, nice and strong. Awesome. And then from here, go ahead, draw both knees into your chest. If you want to roll out your back slightly, you can. We're going to extend our legs straight up overhead. Place one hand behind one leg. Lower the other leg forward. Draw that leg back up. Switch sides. Lower the other leg down. And lift it on up. So again, if you don't want to use your hands, you don't have to. But again, you can assist this move if you want here. Nice and slow and controlled. So again, really thinking about drawing a straight line with those toes. Trying to draw the same exact line every single time. And really point those toes so that you're activating the entire leg. So as soon as you point your toes, you're going to feel those legs and that core working a little bit more. Make sure you're really pressing that lower back into the mat here. Find that strength, find that control. 2 more to each side. And last one here. Awesome. Go ahead, plant those feet nice and close to each other onto the mat. And again, feel free to windshield wiper your legs from side to side to kind of stretch out those hips. Awesome. And then from here, we're going to reach our hands straight up overhead and then peel your shoulders up off the mat. So still reaching those arms up, but lifting as much of our shoulders and our upper back off the mat as we can. From here, we're going to draw our knees nice and close to our triceps, trying to reach them as close to those arms as you can. So these are going to be called our crow crunches. So you can kind of imagine it, this is like a crow position but on your back. So from here, keeping that chest lifted, we're going to extend those legs straight out in front, crunch them back, try to tap those triceps or elbows, whatever you can reach. Extend them straight out in front, draw them back in, squeezing everything nice and tight, point those toes, engage those legs, squeeze them back in. So exhale, send them out. Inhale, draw them back in, squeezing nice and tight here. Again, making sure you're lifting those shoulders up off the mat. Let's do 3 more like this. Nice and slow and controlled. You guys got it. Last 2. On this next one, hold those legs out just for 4, 3, 2. Draw them back in, squeeze them tight, lift up that upper back squeeze here, and then slowly drop those shoulders back down. You can hug your knees into your chest here, and then go ahead, plant those feet onto the mat, let those knees open up to opposite sides, so into kind of a butterfly position but on our back. Our hands are going to come back behind our head, resting gently, and we're just going to crunch up trying to keep our back as flat as possible. And again, lifting from our core, not from our neck or our chest. And we're just using those hands there to support our head. We're not using them to lift on up. So make sure your elbows are nice and wide. We always want to bring them nice and close to each other, but opening them away from each other as much as possible. And just lifting up nice and slow and controlled. Just a few more like this. Last 4, 3, last 2. We're going to hold this last one up at the top. Hold strong, reach those arms up. Squeeze those knees into your chest. Try to tap those triceps with those knees. Hold, hold, hold. And then lower everything down into a quick full body stretch here. And we're gonna quickly repeat those moves one more time. So when you're ready, your hands can come back down to your sides, straighten your legs up overhead. This time, option to go back into those straight leg lifts, or if you wanna double it out, so lower and lift both legs down, you can try that. Just make sure you're really pressing that lower back into the mat. So if you feel your back start to arch, try not to lower your legs any further than that point where you feel your lower back start to lift here. So holding strong, moving into the final little bit of work for today. Really firing up those cores. You guys are strong, you can do this. Awesome, let's do 4 more. So if you're doing the single legs, 2 more on each side. Last 3. I might have lost count, but we'll do 2 more here. Last one, nice and slow, find that control. And then lift it back on up. Go ahead, plant those feet onto the mat, and then again, quickly windshield wiper those legs open and closed to either side. Reach those arms straight up in front of you, and then when you're ready, we're gonna peel the upper body, or as much of our back and our shoulders off the mat as we can, still keeping those arms straight up overhead. Squeeze those knees so that they're tapping those arms, and then exhale, send them out in front, hovering those legs. Squeeze them back in. Exhale, send them out. Draw them back in. See if you can lift your glutes up off that mat to bring those knees in closer. Send them away. And then squeeze them back in. Out. And in. Still peeling that upper body up off the mat, so lifting those shoulders up nice and high. Let's do 4 more here, so you guys got it. I know these are tough, but finishing strong. Last 3. Squeeze. 2 more here, hold strong. Really reach those knees into those arms. Last one, hold those legs out in front. Hovering those feet, breathing through here for 4, 3, 2, and draw those knees back in. Squeeze everything. Bring those knees as close to those arms as you can. And then go ahead, lower it on down. Reach those arms up. And then go ahead, let both knees fall to opposite sides. And the bottoms of our feet can come together. So into that butterfly position. And then from here, when you're ready, gently place your hands on the back of your head and start lifting up as high as you can and slowly lowering it back down. Slowly lift it on up and lower it back down. See if you can make this even slower than the first time around. Nice and controlled. Lift it on up and lower it back down. This is our last move today, and then we get to stretch it on out. So holding strong here, really challenging yourself in these last few seconds. I always go over time, so I have to make sure that I'm watching my time here, because I always plan too much. But let's do 4 more of these. Last 4. 3. Last 2, nice and slow. On this last one, we're going to hold up at the top. So hold strong, reach your arms up, bring those knees nice and close, squeeze everything nice and tight. See if you can lift those glutes a little bit higher, lift those shoulders up a little bit more for 4, 3, 2. Hug your knees into your chest, lower it on down. We're gonna rock slowly side to side if that's comfortable for you, or you can just squeeze your knees into your chest here. Awesome job. And then when you're ready, go ahead, plant both feet onto the mat. Lower both legs down to your left side, and then you can open your arms into a T, and your gaze can go over your right shoulder. And then if you want a deeper stretch, you can lift that top leg, so your right leg, and then use it to press that knee closer to the ground. And that'll give you a deeper spinal twist here. But it's still pretty gentle on your back, so not overstretching anything here. And then just breathing into that space, getting rid of any tightness that you might have. Maybe breathing through if your core is still talking to you a little bit. Just letting all of that go. Thinking about where you're sending that breath, so as you inhale, sending that breath into your body, wherever there might be any tightness, to help release some of that. Go ahead, take 2 more deep breaths here. Really keeping that chest nice and open. And then go ahead, plant that top foot back onto the ground. Bring your knees up to center, and then slowly roll them on to the other side. So I'm on my right side. Gaze goes over to the opposite side, so to the left. And then again, you can lift that top leg up for a deeper stretch, but still try to keep both shoulders planted onto the ground. So if you have to adjust a little bit to make sure both shoulders are planted, then go ahead and do that, just so that you're getting the most out of this spinal twist. And again, nice deep breaths, breathing into that space here, opening up, getting rid of any tightness that we might be holding in different areas of our body. So you might feel a little tightness in your lower back. So thinking about sending that oxygen to that space there to really open it up. But nice deep breaths. Go ahead, take 2 more here. Awesome. And when you're ready, bring that top foot back onto the mat. Slowly draw those knees back up. We'll bring those knees up to our chest one more time here. Squeezing them nice and close. And then exhale, send those legs up in front, arms up overhead for a quick full body stretch. Awesome. Nice deep breaths. And then go ahead, hug your knees back into your chest, roll on over to one side into a little bit of a fetal position. And then however is easiest for you, go ahead, press on up into a seated position. Once you're there, go ahead and meet me in that seated position wherever you are. We'll take one more big inhale together. So go ahead, inhale, reach both arms up overhead. Bring those hands so that they're touching. Lower them down through your third eye to heart center. Thank you all so much for joining me for this little core-focused yoga flow. Sending you all lots of love and light during this time. You guys have a good rest of your Sunday, and namaste. Thank you guys again so much for joining me. Again, my name is Morgan.